Are in position. The officials get off the racetrack. The revs come up. We've seen it, we've heard it, but we're going to see it again. The throttles are dropped. Brent Strong up the middle. Hawkeye Morrisey moves him over, and Morrisey takes the lead off the start. Brent Strong came up the middle, tried to take it over, but Morrisey took the line away. He's not having none of that, man. Coming out of the carousel, Morrisey's on the throttle. Brent Strong gets moved back to third and Brent Strong takes second back under braking. Side by side into turn 3. Now the 81 of Brent Strong is back in third and under attack from other 4-cylinder 600cc machines. It's Jared Braun in second, trying to challenge Hawkeye Morrisey before he gets away. Couple of box riders, but things are clean so far. The front 3 riders nose to tail around Big Daddy. Jared Braun looking for a way around in Big Daddy's corner. Kipping in 4th. Bozic in 5th. McKay in 6th. They come onto the front straight. This is a passing zone for these riders. They're on the throttle. Morrisey gets it on. Brent Strong having an interesting little movement on his bike. Perhaps one of Beethoven's movements. Now they go 3 wide going into the carousel, and then they string it out again. Braun looking to make a move on the outside. Morrisey closes the door. And Morrisey gains ground because Braun had to back it down a notch coming off the carousel. Not a place you want to be slowing down. That's an accelerating corner. Until we turn this track around, then it's a decreasing radius corner. Brent Strong having a little bit of a moment, but he's coming to the outside of the track trying to gather speed. Still in third place, Kipping watching this all develop. McKay trying to chase down Bozic. Now let's take a look back. In the vintage class, Brian Peterson well out in front of the 64. Nasser makes a move around the Bandit. The Bandit looking like he's having some problems. It looked like maybe his gas was turned off because he's picked up the speed. He's looking back at his bike and he's slowing down again. Morrisey, Braun, and the 81 on the Rent-A-Racer now. Brent Strong takes a drive up, takes a look at the inside of Braun. Braun has none of it. Opens the throttle and now makes a charge on Morrisey. These 3 riders not giving an inch. Morrisey very fast coming out of the carousel. Brent Strong almost catches the second place rider, Braun. Back on song is Faraz on the Bandit. Perhaps that was a fuel issue. There's Paul Rostick on the beautiful 250cc Grand Prix machine. We'll follow the front 3 runners through the S's as they close up. Hawkeye Morrisey cannot shake these 2 riders no matter what he's doing. Round the top of Big Daddy. 3 completely different lines. You can see all 3 bikes at once from the front. Oh, and Strong gets balked because Braun was on his line. Strong and Braun. Kipping trying to keep the leaders in sight to take advantage of any issue that may come up. Again, Morrisey. Braun trying to outbrake going into the left-hander of the carousel and almost makes it happen. All 3 riders within a bike length of each other. There's Morrisey on the throttle out of the carousel and accelerates away. Braun now pulls the throttle a little harder, and on the brake, Strong comes right back up to say hello. Strong with a nice run out of turn number 3, but doesn't have enough to catch Braun. Now they're going into the S's. Faraz deciding he's had enough for today. The bike not doing what it's supposed to. Now in the short chute, Brent Strong trying to catch Braun. 81 trying to catch 41, if that helps. Hawkeye Morrisey built a little bit of a gap, but it's not enough to breathe. Now rounding onto the front straight. And again, they're nose to tail. Brent Strong is leaving rubber on the pavement on an SV650. Again, the freight train develops in the carousel. Morrisey coming out of the carousel as always, full throttle. This time he accelerates a little harder away. Braun almost coming under the grasp of Strong until his power hit the track. Directly ahead of them as they go up the short chute towards the S's is Paul Rostick on the 250. He leans it in, and that puts Strong around Braun. Strong makes a move into second. Now Braun's in third because just for a second, Paul Rostick was in the way. That's how it works. A lapped rider is still out there in the race. I will tell you right now, Jared Braun is going to have a devil of a time finding his way around Strong, even if he gets close. Strong is already looking at Morrisey, trying to find a way to move around him. Halfway flags are up on this one, and it continues. The battle continues through the dogleg into the carousel, where Strong is building up a head of steam into the carousel right on the back wheel of Morrisey, looking to the outside. They're side by side now. Morrisey gets the power on and accelerates away, but Strong's in second now. Braun trying to get the power into the final corner, coming on to turn number 3. They disappear behind the jump. Strong is side by side with Morrisey. As they come up the short chute, the horsepower tells, and Morrisey finds a way to stay in the lead. Strong has no respect whatsoever. Just because you're in front of him, he's going to find a way around, even if you do have more horsepower. Again, going into Big Daddy, Strong gathers up some steam. Jared Braun going to school on this one. He is watching every move Strong makes. Brent Strong with a big front wheel slide, but he turns it into acceleration. And again, Morrissey's got to slap the throttle wide open and squeeze it a little bit harder to stay in front of him. Now around the carousel, it is Morrisey, Strong, and then a ways back, it is Jared Braun. This time Morrisey really builds a gap. Strong completely disconnects his brakes, coasts into the corner with the throttle just about open, comes around the outside, now trying to look at the inside. Morrisey knows where Strong is quick and continues to ride that line. You got to find a way by on another line if you're going to get up to the 311 machine. Jared Braun looking behind him. There's nobody there. I'm wondering if he's looking at his motorcycle. And again, the front runners come up on another rider, the 317. That would be Michael Nasser. He's got a party coming up behind him. We got a battle just going by the front straight now, but no changes. There's Glenn McKay on the 27. Now, I'll tell you something. If you don't think these riders are pushing the bikes, every time they go by my position here, if the breeze is just right, I'm smelling burning rubber. That's going through a corner. They're spinning the tires up that much that I'm actually smelling the burning rubber. Riders are into the S's. They've got around, the front two riders have got around Nasser, but Braun still has to find a way by. He's into the short chute. Nice, clean pass. Brent Strong looking to the outside of Big Daddy. He's taking a chance, and he takes the position just out of sheer guts. He takes the glory. Now around coming through, a big slide as he tries to make that bike work. It's all over the racetrack. The tires are going away, but he's ahead of Hawkeye Morrisey on an SB 650 that he doesn't even own anymore. And coming around the carousel, he gained a ton of ground. Now Morrisey trying to close on brakes. It is incredibly difficult to do that on Brent Strong. Coming out of turn number 3 now in the short chute into the S's. Brent Strong leading the old boys on an SV 650. Coming up on Paul Rostick one more time. He's not going to slow down. He's going to go around the outside. It worked last time. It works this time. Coming into the final turn, Brent Strong looking for the last lap flag. The last lap flag is out, and he has gained ground on Hawkeye Morrisey. Morrisey figuring it might be better to stay on two wheels than try to chase after Sideshow Bob on his SP650. Kipping, Bozic, then Michael Nasser on his FZR 400. He is in second place, I believe, in the vintage class. Brent Strong in his final lap. He's coming up behind Brian Peterson, who is leading the vintage class on his FZR 400. Matt Faraz having retired a little bit early with some problems with the motorcycle. Brent Strong still looking to the outside of Big Daddy. He's got a big gap behind him, but he doesn't know it for sure. Now on the final couple of turns, Brent Strong on the SP650 is going to come across the line and take the checker. Brian Peterson's going to win the vintage class. Hawkeye Morrisey in second. Third is Jared Braun. That's your old boys club from Clarington Cycle. Robert Kipping in fourth. Bozic in fifth for the old boys. Paul Rosta coming around on the GP machine. He's going to take the win in the Formula 2 stroke on the 32. Now comes Michael Nasser. He'll be second in vintage.